The Biden administration is revealing its plan to address trade with China. The plan is to begin unwinding some of the tariffs imposed by former President Trump on China and press China into new trade talks in the coming days. The U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai detailed the administration's strategy at an event in Washington.
But above all else, we must defend to the hilt our economic interests. And that means taking all steps necessary to protect ourselves against the waves of damage inflicted over the years through unfair competition. We need to be prepared to deploy all tools and explore the development of new ones, including through collaboration with other economies and countries.
For more on this, I want to bring in Ambassador Carla Hills. She previously served as U.S. Trade Representative during the George H.W. Bush administration. She also served as Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development and is the chair and CEO of Hills & Company International Consultants. Ambassador Hills, welcome. It's great to have you with us. What is your reaction to the Biden administration's trade strategy with China?
Well, I thought that Katherine Tai presented herself very well. She articulated 4 points that the Biden administration would follow in the discussions with China. And she said that she would begin these soon, which I applaud. There have been shortfalls. She said that they would review the targets set in phase 1. And she actually gave it some praise, saying that it reduced tensions at the time so that we could move forward. And her third point was that she would review and discuss with China the state-driven non-market issues that have been plaguing us. And she mentioned that she had a toolbox, and 301, that's tariffs, would be part of it. And finally, she said she would work with allies to shape the rules that would govern trade throughout the market and needed for the 21st century. So she was she covered a lot of ground in a short period of time.
And to focus in on those tariffs for a moment, the Biden administration is saying the tariffs put in place by the Trump administration won't be immediately removed. What message does that send to China? And does that mean that ultimately those tariffs are useful on a certain level?
She made it clear she thought the 301 tariffs were a tool in her toolbox, so they are useful at some level. But, and she also said, you know, commitments are important. And if you commit to do something, you ought to follow through. So I think that what she said is that, most importantly, that she would sit down soon, because if there was one thing I would recommend to the administration is you ought to begin high-level negotiations on your differences if you hope to find some manner of solution without escalating the tensions.
And Katherine Tai is also expected to speak with her Chinese counterpart soon in the coming days. What do you expect the response will be to her critiques of the Chinese government and to also the plan that she outlined?
The question is, can she find a win-win situation? My own belief is that there is. You know, let's stop talking about countering China and begin talking about adherence to international rules that will benefit our economy, their economy, and the global economy. And China is in a debt situation because of state-owned enterprises. Its growth is coming from the private sector. It is encouraging inward investment. So if it adheres to the rules, it's a plus for it. And clearly, rules-oriented trade, rule of law, governing our economic relationships is extremely important to us and to the rest of the free world. So I think that we have a path through. It won't be easy, and certainly China is not going to give up its communist system. But keep in mind, we do business with other communist governments. We consider Vietnam, which is a communist government, a country that we can do business with. So we have to have a policy. Mm-hmm. I thought how she articulated it was helpful.
It's interesting, though, where those parameters lie, because, of course, we don't do business with Cuba, who you could argue is sort of a less threatening communist country. And so when you think of China policy, obviously economic policy is a huge chunk of it, but it's not the entire piece of it. And we have heard President Biden say that he wants competition with China, but not conflict. Where, however, will China's actions sort of veer into a place where the U.S. has to respond either through economic sanctions or in other ways? I mean, I feel like that line often is very close to being drawn.
Well, I think that Catherine Tai made it clear that she would keep tariffs in her toolbox, and we're focused here on the trade and economic issues. Obviously, if we get into problems with Taiwan, that will be entirely different. And I hope that we can bring the trade issues into harmony so that it's too great a cost for China to be expansionary and creating additional global problems. But her message to China was that we need an honest discussion, that you made commitments. Let's see what you can do. We're going to walk through that. And our aim will be to develop with you a durable policy. We need to protect our interests. She said it's got to be good for our workers, our allies, and our global economy. And she was really quite good, I thought, in talking about we're not going to decouple with China. We are going to recouple. And she sort of defined that to be we're not going to move out of manufacturing into high technology, as some people have suggested, because you can't be successful in high technology unless you begin to use it. And so they are partners in growth, both manufacturing and high technology. And so we want to maintain innovative leadership, but you can't do one without the other. And I thought that was a point that was worth making today.
Well, Ambassador Carla Hills, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and your insight.
Have a good day.